Hey, I'm Matt Craytel. I'm a principal of an elementary school in Greenville County known as Reedy, Laurel, which opens in August of 2025. And I've had a lot of experience with HON in the past, and so when I was tasked with opening this new school, I actually was placed back at the school that I opened 11 years ago, which was Fisher Middle, and we had utilized the HON admin furniture throughout the admin suites. And they put me in one of the offices, and the furniture looked as good as the day it arrived a decade ago. And so immediately our school team said, we need this type of furniture in our admin wing. And at that point, FSI and HON opened up the opportunities and possibility of using HON in the classroom spaces, which wasn't as prevalent 10, 11 years ago when we did the first project. And that's where our minds were blown with the customization and the ability to uniquely design spaces for their need and not do blanket colors or blanket design choices that made the budget work along with the school design. And so we were able to come in with a targeted budget line and customize the colors of table legs, the colors of chairs, the color of fabrics, and make each space unique for what it was supposed to do, so that as students moved throughout the building, they had a standard feel and color palette within their classrooms, but every place that was quote unquote special to them had a completely different look and feel, so that they always felt like they were in a different place, not an extension of their classroom. So I think this room is a great example of the customization that I was talking about earlier, where you can make a space that's unique space, but also functional. And so in this art room, we said, what can you do that makes a room feel like it's for artists? And pops of color are a huge part of it. And knowing that our walls were white and our floors were a gray concrete, we felt like this was a great opportunity to put that splash of color in, but also make it make sense. And so art is a really exciting environment for students, and it's often really difficult to organize students in the chaos. And so by color coding, not just the tables, but the cabinetry that's behind us that has the bin storage, it not only makes the space look good, but it gave teachers an opportunity to organize a space that students could live with and understand the expectations. But on top of that, it's the fact that we really only have 1 or 2 tables that have this color in the whole building. But because of the way the HON design team and FSI explained it to us, it didn't change our budget lines. We were able to get creative, but personalizing it without making it increase our expenditures, but also giving it a tailored, customized fit that doesn't look like any other school that I've come to see. All right, so in our media center space, we wanted to make it unique and eye-catching and feel more like the children's section of either a public library or like a Barnes & Noble. And so again, the benefit that we had with HON's customization is we were able to play in the colors that we used in our wet lab and tech lab, which is this blue and green that you see highlighted in the bookshelves. And it gives just a centering to the school because we wanted the library to feel like it was at the center of the school. But then also, because we could change the finishes, we went with this wood grain finish even on the chairs or the tables, that the students are sitting at, that we've used them in the workrooms, we use them in the conference room, so we can expand or reduce the amount of seats that are available for people in the media center when we need it. And then the tangram couch is awesome for story time. It gives students a chance to sit on the floors. It also gives them a chance to have a comfortable seat for read alouds in small groups or whole groups. But then because it's so sturdy, they can even lean up against it. So what it did was it made the space comfortable for students. And so we were able to continue to play in all the different colors. But again, because the customization doesn't matter in terms of colors, we were able to do those unique splashes of color, and it didn't change our budget line. So one of the things we wanted to do was we asked Christy and the FSI team, was there a way that we could make the classroom furniture standard but still somewhat customizable? And they recommended the ribbon tables because it gives a little bit different flow than what your basic right angles are. But the nice thing is about the HON construction is you have flat based edging all around the trim. So when you actually push tables together, they're flush. We were finding with other proposals that we were given that the tables had edging that finished them, but they didn't allow the tables to go flush, and so you had gaps. So crayons, pencils, all sorts of things would just kind of settle in the middle, and they didn't have a flat work surface. This gave us the ability to do that. But then on top of that, because we were able to swap out colors, We went with a lighter laminate on all of our teacher pieces, which were the roll call, the teacher desk, and then the ARC table. But then all the student furniture has a little bit darker shade, so it gave us a chance to define it. And again, because we had the ability to do that without any pinching to the budget, we really were able to kind of, I guess, fine-tune the design process so that each piece had a particular purpose, and it was kind of defined by the design and it was dictated by the color. So teachers know what's for them, students know what's for them, and it also gives them the ability with casters being able to be added or not added to each piece of furniture, that customization. The other thing that really wowed us when it came that we didn't expect was how well the ARC table was built versus other kidney tables that all of us educators have had experience with in the past, where they're very flimsy and every time you move them, they get weaker and weaker. These had double stabilizers and thick legs that were reinforced, where we actually took 2 adults to move and carry, where normally you could throw one over your shoulder and carry it out. The FSI design team worked within the HON product lines, and we were able to make adult spaces actually feel like adult spaces and kid spaces feel like kid spaces. And so the admin wing really looks more like something you would find in the private sector. We were able to do a professional development room that had more comfortable seating, but also customizable, because the sectional we did could be separate pieces or a full piece like the picture shows. But then the table and chairs that are in that space are also nesting. So if we need more floor space, we have that ability. And then on top of that, we were able to go through the entire line of office furniture, and without really shifting price points very much, we were able to put a different office suite in every office in the front office, so that as you walk down the hallway, you don't feel like you're just seeing a carbon copy. And again, the HON line gave us the ability to do that, but also making all of the colors match throughout. So all of our laminate wood grains are the same regardless of where you are in the space, but they look different on every piece of furniture because, again, it just has a different design and function. And so we're able to find pieces that don't just work for the person filling the role right now, but in 10, 15, or 20 years, because at the end of the day, when you're picking out furniture for a school, you're not thinking about 5 or 10 years, you're thinking about at least 20 years and what's going to be utilized and appreciated by the number of people that may come and go within those spaces or positions. And so we're able to kind of reflect that throughout the building, and we're really excited to get people's experiences with it and feedback as they really put it to use. We love it, and we know they will.